All right, campers, we are ready to go with our hot coals. If you take a look in here, you can see that our coals are ready to go. They're red hot. We've got some gray ash on them. This is kind of the sweet spot for Dutch oven cooking. Typically when we use charcoal, we wait for it to gray out when we're gonna cook food on it so that we don't get any direct flame impingement and burn our food. When we're cooking with Dutch ovens, we wanna make sure we maximize our charcoal temperature and maximize the duration that we can cook with it for. So we wanna make sure that we get it while it's hot and capture all that heat. Now, for our breakfast this morning, this is a little bit odd. Normally, most of the meals, we're just gonna have so many briquettes underneath, so many briquettes on top, close it up and let it go. This has got a couple extra steps to it. We are gonna use 25 briquettes for this meal. And we're gonna start with all 25 briquettes down on our aluminum pan with our Dutch oven on top so we can get some good preheat in the pan because we're gonna have to brown and sear some things to start. So I'm gonna carry this over to the pan. Katie, I'll meet you at the pan with the tongs and we're gonna get 25 briquettes out and ready to go. We're gonna move to stable ground for this, off of the hill in the driveway. We wanted to be outside for the first part to make sure that we didn't have any flames or any combustible material. I'm not sure what we have here. We'll give it a quick count. I don't know. But we're gonna use 25 when we get to the cooking stage. For now, we just wanna get this Dutch oven over the heat, get it preheated, and get this thing going. So remember back in the kitchen, we talked about those feet underneath. This is why you wanna make sure you have those Dutch oven with the feet because it has somewhere for the charcoal to go underneath. So I'm gonna slap the lid on this for just a minute. We're gonna let this preheat for just about 5 minutes, and Katie's gonna come back and get our meal going for us. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, gang, we are back here. We have got our Dutch oven preheated. We just tested it. Usually when we check it, we just put a little bit of water in the bottom, and if you get a good sizzle, you know you're good. We got a great sizzle, so we're ready to go. So what we're gonna do first is, this is great, by the way, these little stands. These stands, you can put your lid on when you're not cooking because it's hot, or you fold it up and it makes a great hook to take off your Dutch oven lid. So we have this guy ready to go. Katie's gonna spray some Pam in there. This cooking spray, this stuff's great. The Crisco or the Pam, that'll serve you well. You don't really need to put any oils or anything like that in your Dutch oven. Katie, you can go ahead and put that in there while we're talking. So that's about all you need for your Dutch oven, and you'll be able to wipe that out and clean that out afterwards. And after you do this about 6 or 7 times, your cast iron will have a glass-like, completely stick-free sheen for the whole entire life of the cast iron. All right, Katie, we're gonna get that ground beef in there, and we're gonna get to browning our meat. So she's gonna add our ground beef, our onions, and our garlic into the pot. So go ahead, let's get that all in there quickly. Cast iron's fantastic. If you don't use this in your kitchen, we use cast iron almost every single day. Steaks, pork chops, that is if we're not cooking on the grill. It is absolutely perfect for most of your recipes. So we're gonna add the onion and the garlic in there as well. And then we're gonna just get this all stirred up till it gets nice and brown. We're gonna get this moving so it doesn't burn. Cast iron gets really hot really quickly, so if you haven't used this before, you can't damage it. We use metal utensils all the time, and we're gonna just brown this up until all of our meat is brown, and we've got a nice, and all the pink is gone, and then we'll move this to our mixing bowl, and we'll add the rest of our mixtures. While we're doing this, Katie's gonna get our soup opened up, our tater tots opened up, and we're gonna get this thing moving. So we got most of the sizzle out. We're just gonna set those to the side for now, Katie. But we're gonna let this cook for a minute. We're gonna continue to let that meat brown. It's gonna take about 5 more minutes to do this or so. So while this is happening and we're finishing to brown this meat, I'm just gonna put you guys on pause. I'll let you finish browning your meat, and we'll come on back when everything's ready to go for the next step. So we'll see you in a few minutes. All right, welcome back, guys. If you take a look in the pot, you can see all of our ground beef is nice and brown, along with our onions and our garlic. So we're actually gonna transfer this mixture to a mixing bowl, and we're gonna move half of it back to the pot here in a minute. And we're gonna get all of this beef mixture into this bowl. Katie, while I'm putting this into the bowl, you can add the jalapenos and the cream chip beef, or the cream chip beef, I wish, the cream of mushroom soup. So we're gonna add that now as well. Anytime you ground beef, you get some juices and some oil that comes out. So I'm gonna empty this out. Katie's gonna add the other can of soup, and we're gonna stir everything up. I'm gonna add our 17 briquettes to the lid and get that preheating while she's doing that. And it's a little bit windy here, so I am going to leave the rest of these briquettes here. We'll be in good shape. And if you look, we do have another chimney of briquettes going. This one cooks for about 30 to 40 minutes, so we might need some fresh charcoal, so that's what that's over there for. So we're gonna put this pot back over the eight briquettes that are left. I am gonna switch with Katie for a second. Will you take these guys? I'm gonna give this one final kind of mix here. Make sure we're thoroughly mixed. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer half of this back to the pot. We're gonna add a layer of tater tots, half the tater tots that we have, and then we're gonna add a layer of cheese, and then we're gonna repeat. So we're gonna work half of this back into the pot, or so. That's about half. We're gonna spread that out, get a nice layer, smooth it out. That looks good. We're gonna get our tater tots. Need help with that, Kate? Uh-oh, this one wasn't pre-opened?
Nope.
So we're gonna get our cheese ready, if you will. I got about half the bag there. We're gonna spread those out. Get a nice layer again. If you can, try not to get things right on the side of the container. Other than the sauce, you don't want anything to burn. All right, then we're gonna add a layer of cheese. Half the bag. Then we're gonna put the rest of our mixture in. Put the rest of our tater tots on. The remainder of our cheese. All right, this is our bake scenario. We're gonna take our lid, which is nice and preheated. We're gonna put this back on, and we're gonna let this baby cook for 30 to 40 minutes or so. Keep an eye on your coals. If your coals look like they're getting cold, switch them out with some new ones. Otherwise, we'll see you guys back here in 30 minutes to look at this and see how we go. All right. Hey guys, just checking back in. We're at about the 20-minute mark. So if you take your hand, put it over your Dutch oven, you should feel some really great heat coming off there. How does that feel, Katie? Is that really hot?
No.
It's pretty darn hot still. That would burn you if you touched it. Now, the only thing we've done so far, and the reason I wanted to check back in halfway, is it's really breezy and windy here. So we had some coal temperature decrease pretty quickly. So we added a couple coals to the top, a couple of coals underneath. That's all you need to do. Cast iron will hold that heat for a really long time. This thing will be too hot to touch 30 minutes after we're done cooking breakfast. It'll still be hot in an hour. So once we get that temperature up, we just don't want to lose it. So we added a few more coals just to keep it consistent. If you can look behind over there, we always have a chimney going of fresh charcoal so that we can add coals when we need to. So about halfway point, 20 minutes or so. We're gonna check back in 10 minutes. That'll be the 30-minute mark. We'll see how this looks, but we're really probably going on to 40 minutes. We don't want to open this anytime in between. Did you ever hear that phrase, if you're looking, you ain't cooking? That's true. We've taken a lot of work to build up the heat in this cast iron. We don't want to lose it. So we really don't want to take any peeks in there until we're close to being complete, and we're pretty confident that it's almost done. So we'll be back in just about 10 more minutes. Hey guys, welcome back. We're at the 30-minute mark. Amazingly, we're cooking breakfast and it seems to be getting darker. It's like we're in the Matrix or something. But here we are at the 30-minute mark. We're gonna take a peek in here, and what we wanna see is we wanna see that cheese completely melted and those tater tots really have a little bit of golden brown to them, and that's gonna let us know that we're really close to done. So we're at that 30-minute mark. We're gonna check. We might have about 5 to 10 more minutes left, but we're gonna see. Katie, would you take that there? Be really careful, you know how hot it gets. And just lift that straight up very carefully. Super hot, don't touch the pan. Oh, we've got some great melted cheese. Our tater tots, I see just a little bit of brownness on the potatoes. We're gonna put that back on and just let that cook for 10 more minutes, and we know we're gonna be completely finished. We're not gonna add any more briquettes at this point. We are plenty hot. We'll see you back in 10 minutes and we're gonna serve this up. See you then. All right, guys, we are back. We are at the 40-minute mark. We know we checked this at 30. It looked almost done already, so we know it's gonna be done now. So we are ready to dish this baby up and have our breakfast before the sun comes up. So, the big reveal. Oh, watch your feet there, Kate.
Wow.
Look at that. That looks absolutely delicious. We're gonna serve some of that up. I feel like Justin Wilson, Louisiana cooking. Boy, that's good. Look at that, we're gonna mix that up. Oh. And we have got ourselves an absolutely delicious tater tot, cheese, breakfast casserole. This is gonna fill you up for the day and get you going. So we're gonna enjoy this, and we're gonna see you guys back at lunchtime for our spicy chicken tortilla dip, Adirondack style. We'll see you then. Hey guys, just a quick follow-up on breakfast. This is really, really good, but we did add some salt and pepper to taste. It is gonna need it. We did not season it in the pan. Everybody has different dietary needs and seasoning likes, so you'll wanna make sure you salt and pepper that up if it's a little too bland for you. Also, I think we've universally agreed that if it's for breakfast, it could probably use some ketchup or some hot sauce to make it a little bit more breakfasty. This is a pretty versatile dish though. It could be a dinner as well, and you could sauce this up a couple other different ways if you wanted to as well. So enjoy this, guys, and we'll see you at spicy teriyaki dip or spicy chicken tortilla dip for lunchtime.